Escalating Confrontations, NATO versus Russia. The relationship between NATO and Russia has been a complicated one, marked by tension and disagreement. While they have had moments of cooperation, the relationship has been deteriorating in recent years, with accusations being thrown back and forth and confrontations escalating. There are a number of factors that are contributing to the increase in hostility between the two, including conflict over Ukraine, concerns about Russian aggression in Europe, and differences in political ideology. One of the major drivers of tension between NATO and Russia has been the ongoing conflict in Ukraine. The annexation of Crimea in 2014 by Russia was a major blow to Ukraine's territorial integrity and has sparked a conflict that has been ongoing for years. NATO and other Western powers have condemned Russia's actions and provided support for the Ukrainian government in response. Russian officials have argued that they were protecting the interests of ethnic Russians living in Ukraine, but many in the West see this as a pretext for aggression. The conflict in Ukraine has led to a larger debate about Russian intentions in Europe. Some in NATO see Russia as seeking to expand its influence in the region, using force to achieve its aims. Others see Russia as a legitimate partner in the region, with the right to defend its interests and protect its people. With NATO and Russia supporting opposing sides in the Ukrainian conflict, it is hard to see any resolution in sight in the short term. Another factor contributing to the escalation of tensions is differences in political ideology. NATO is a military alliance that is built around a set of common values, including democracy, the rule of law, and the protection of human rights. While NATO members differ in their political systems and approaches to governance, they share a general commitment to these principles. In contrast, Russia under Vladimir Putin is widely seen as increasingly authoritarian, with a government that is cracking down on dissent and suppressing opposition voices. These differences in ideology make it difficult for NATO and Russia to find common ground on many issues. Russia sees NATO as a threat to its security and sovereignty, while NATO sees Russia as a destabilizing force in the region. Both sides accuse the other of interfering in their domestic affairs and spreading disinformation to sow discord. This has led to a climate of mutual suspicion and mistrust that makes it difficult to find common ground on many issues. The situation has been further complicated by the involvement of other actors in the region. The United States has been vocal in its opposition to Russian actions in Ukraine and has provided military and economic support to Ukraine. This has put the US at odds with Russia, and has made it difficult for other NATO members to effectively engage with Russia. Additionally, there are concerns about the role of China in the region as well, with both NATO and Russia looking to establish stronger ties with China in order to counterbalance the other. So what can be done to de-escalate the ongoing confrontation between NATO and Russia? One possibility is increased dialogue and communication between the two sides. There have been some efforts in this direction, with NATO and Russian officials meeting to discuss issues of mutual concern. However, the talks have often been tense and unproductive, with little progress made on critical issues. Another option is to focus on areas of potential cooperation. Despite the current tensions, there are still some areas where NATO and Russia share common interests, including counterterrorism and arms control. By emphasizing these areas of cooperation, it may be possible to build trust between the two sides and find ways to work together on other issues. Ultimately, the key to resolving the current conflict between NATO and Russia will be a willingness to engage in compromise and dialogue. Both sides need to be willing to listen to the concerns of the other and to seek mutually beneficial solutions. There are no quick or easy solutions to the ongoing tensions, but with a commitment to open communication and a shared desire for peace, progress can be made.